There's a moment that happens in almost every dangerous decision. A pause, a single breath, where everything goes quiet, not outside you, but inside. Your heartbeat is still there. The world is still moving, but your thoughts sharpen into something primal. You stop weighing the pros and cons, you stop being logical, and for a heartbeat you become someone stripped down to instinct. It's in that suspended instant that the mind's hidden architecture reveals itself. The part of you that usually hides beneath rational thought steps into the light. That is the moment your brain has been waiting for, not the outcome, not the danger itself, but the exquisite rush of being fully alive. Modern life has made most of us strangers to that feeling. We live in controlled environments with padded edges. We step into the same routines, eat the same foods, scroll through the same predictable feeds, and sleep under roofs that keep everything uncertain at bay. But your mind was not built in the comfort of walls. It was forged on the edge of risk, shaped by nights when survival depended on sensing danger before it arrived. That wiring never left. It waits in silence for a spark. When you step toward danger, it's like speaking a language the primitive part of your brain still understands. It's a homecoming. That's why risk feels strangely seductive. It's not just a craving for adrenaline or a need to rebel. It's something older, deeper. When the world around you grows too soft, your subconscious starts looking for a way to feel alive again. For some, that comes through extreme sports or dangerous travel. For others, it comes through destructive choices they can't quite explain. Not because they want chaos, but because chaos feels more real than silence. Danger is honest in a way that safety never is. It doesn't lie to you. It doesn't pretend. It says, step closer, and you'll see who you really are. That's why people often say they feel more like themselves when they re on the edge of something terrifying. The mask of who they're supposed to be falls away. What remains is raw instinct, stripped of all performance. This is also why the mind can become addicted to danger. It's not just the thrill, it's the clarity. A dangerous decision simplifies the world. All the noise disappears. The mind stops spinning in 1,000 directions, and suddenly there is only one thing that matters. One heartbeat, one choice, one direction. It's a rare feeling in a world built on endless distractions. That's why it's so intoxicating. You can see this in the eyes of people standing at the edge of a rooftop at night. City lights glowing below like a sea of stars. They don't want to fall. They don't even necessarily want to jump. But there's something magnetic about that edge. The wind feels different. The air tastes sharper. Time slows. Their mind whispers, what if? And that whisper isn't calling them to self-destruction. It's calling them to feel something that's been buried under layers of safety. The human brain doesn't just tolerate uncertainty, it feeds on it. Long before civilization, uncertainty meant potential. The unknown could be danger, yes, but it could also be food, shelter, or survival. Those who leaned into danger lived long enough to pass on their instincts. That legacy is written into your nervous system. The surge of dopamine you feel in risky moments isn't a glitch. It's your history speaking through your blood. That's why dangerous decisions can masquerade as freedom. They make you feel untethered, like the rules no longer apply. A person might walk away from a stable life not because they want to destroy it, but because it no longer feels alive. Safe paths may protect you, but they rarely awaken you. Dangerous ones can shatter you, but they also remind you you're not a machine. There's a strange, paradoxical comfort in walking into danger with your eyes open. It's like walking toward a storm. You can hear the thunder, feel the electricity in the air, and part of you knows you should turn back. But another part, the deeper, older part, leans forward. That's the mind's dark romance with danger. It isn't logical, it isn't moral, it's simply honest. But here's the hidden cost. The same mechanism that draws you toward danger doesn't always know when to stop. What begins as a whisper can become a scream. The more the mind tastes that intensity, the more it hungers for it. People who flirt with the edge often find themselves drifting further from the safe ground. Not because they love chaos, but because normal life starts to feel numb by comparison. That's the trap of dangerous decisions. They can feel more alive than anything else, until they take everything with them. Still, the allure remains, because in those moments, your fear isn't your enemy, it becomes your compass. It tells you you're alive, it sharpens your senses, it makes every heartbeat count. People spend years chasing a kind of aliveness they once felt standing on the edge of something that could ruin them. That's the haunting beauty of danger. It doesn't just threaten you, it seduces you. Even people who claim to love control are not immune to it. In fact, sometimes they're the ones who crave it the most. The greater the walls they build around their lives, the louder the whisper grows behind them. That whisper is not weakness. It's a reminder that no matter how sophisticated we become, we are still creatures of risk, wired to step toward the unknown. We can pretend to silence it. We can bury it under work, routine, and carefully planned futures. But the mind remembers. It always remembers. Somewhere in that memory lies the truth. Your mind doesn't just love dangerous decisions because they are re-thrilling. It loves them because they're honest. Because when you stand at the edge, stripped of all distractions, the only thing left is you. No masks, no expectations. Just you, your heartbeat, and the choice. Danger is not just about death or destruction. It's about proximity to something raw, something that cannot be faked. It's about standing at the border between control and chaos and feeling, if only for a moment, infinite. And that is why even the sanest mind leans toward the edge. It's not insanity, it's recognition. People have spent centuries building walls to keep danger out, but in doing so they built walls around their own instincts. They forgot how it feels to listen to the pulse beneath the noise. They forgot that danger isn't always the enemy. Sometimes, it's the clearest mirror you'll ever face. Some chase danger to escape themselves. Others chase it to meet themselves. The difference is subtle, but it matters. The first ends in ruin. The second ends in revelation. Because somewhere between fear and desire lies a truth most never face head-on. We fear danger because we understand it too well. We recognize the part of ourselves that belongs to it. The mind doesn't love danger because it wants to die. It loves danger because it wants to feel alive. Because in the silent storm between one heartbeat and the next, it rediscovers what it means to be human. And sometimes, that's enough to make even the safest soul lean closer to the edge than they ever thought they would.